Yeah, I'm sorry. This movie is fucking horrible. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be talking about the new movie directed by Olivia Wilde, a movie called Don't Worry, Darling. Yes, I got early access to this film, and yeah, I wasn't looking forward to this movie because of the promotion and all the shit that went down in making this film. Just, ugh. But, early access, can't deny that, right? This movie stars Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Olivia Wilde, many, many other actors and actresses. Big cast, big cast. It's directed by Olivia Wilde, who I think this is her second movie. I don't know. The only movie I think she did was Booksmart. I have a relationship with that movie, I guess, because at first I really loved that movie, Booksmart. I thought it was such a great movie. Then I saw it a second time and just wasn't that funny. I saw it the third time and I'm like, wow, this movie kind of sucks. But I can full on say right now, just seeing this movie once, Don't Worry, Darling is a terrible film. And in every way, shape, or form, it's worse than Booksmart. Like, I don't know what Olivia Wilde was thinking with this movie. It's so bad. It's so bad. The acting is terrible. The writing is atrocious. The story is nothing new or original. The messaging is beyond horrible and toxic. I don't know what this movie was trying to say, especially about men and stuff, but it was very jumbled. It was a big clusterfuck. It's not that intimidating or scary. It's kind of like a psychological thriller. It's confusing, and I feel like the film itself didn't even know what it had to say about the stuff they were talking about. The story of this movie takes place in like the 50s, and there's like this like corporation where these like couples stay at, and it's like a utopia and stuff. It's to help like men become better husbands and women to get the glamour and stuff, but there's like a twist with it and everything. Like once they go in, they can never leave and stuff, and it almost becomes more of a paradise for the men and stuff, but there's a lot more to it without me spoiling it. The whole messaging of this movie is toxic masculinity. That's like the whole theme of this film. And I think topics like that are not for me. I think I think there's just a lot more interesting topics. That's not a very interesting topic, but I don't know. She doesn't even even if you're gonna talk about toxic masculinity, this movie doesn't address how to beat toxic change toxic masculinity. It just kind of shows how awful it is and how women are just better than men in every way, shape, or form. That's what I got from this movie, because Olivia Wilde's just a really terrible director and a really terrible writer. But there's a lot of things that happen on set of this movie. Olivia Wilde cheating on her husband and a lot of weird sex things going on. I can see why Shia LaBeouf dropped out of this film. But despite the big cast, none of them were that good in the movie. I'm just talking about them as actors. Florence Pugh is a good actress, but she is dreadful in this movie. Just terrible. She's very stale in her acting, and just, I don't know, she has a lot of scenes where she isn't blinking, and it just comes off weird, and it's so awkward to watch. This entire movie is just awkward to watch. And Olivia Wilde herself is not very good. I can tell there's a lot of ego in this film and herself. And yeah, she was terrible in the film. Harry Styles was dreadful in this film as well. Chris Pine, I think, was probably maybe, I guess, the best performance in this movie by default. Oh my god, I heard it in the interview that Olivia Wilde based Chris Pine's character off of Jordan Peterson. Oh god, I could probably make a whole video of that. That's just ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. Olivia Wilde, she likes to think of herself as a very intellectual person, and there's just a lot of that in this film. Not intellect, but pseudo intellect. She thinks she's so smart and brilliant, and she thinks she's being subtle with some of the things that she puts in this movie and some of this, I guess, atmospheric moments. She thinks she's a very clever writer and a very clever filmmaker, but it's not clever at all. It's not at all. This movie feels very amateur. It feels like a college student just out of film school got all millions of dollars to make a movie, and this is what they made. It's very amateur. It's not intelligent. It doesn't have anything unique to say, and it's just a lot of dumb moments after another, and just, I don't know. Just, if anyone's wondering, yes, every single male character is horribly written. Olivia Wilde has no idea how to write male characters. We saw it in Booksmart, and we really see it in this one. She has no idea how to write male characters. And if this is how she sees males in real life, she might need a little help. Or, like, I don't know, just, like, she must not have a very good outlook on men in this world, if this is how she sees men. It was quite disgusting in some moments. There's not a lot of things I enjoyed about this movie. This movie is just not a very well told story, and it's just not interesting. It's not even deep or psychological. It's just a really pandering and very annoying film made by a very pretentious filmmaker. Easily one of the shittiest films I've seen. There's, like, it's bad enough, like, if a movie's just, like, boring or just uninteresting, but this movie is just also just, like, painful to sit through. It's super painful to sit through. Hearing these characters talk and these meanings that are trying to be portrayed in this film, it's just agonizing to sit through. This is one of the most agonizing films I sat through this year. It's not the worst movie I've seen this year, but it is literally one of the most painful watches. Just, it's so annoying. It was an irritating film, and I hated every second of it. And I really hope this movie bombs. There's nothing I can recommend about it. It's a very toxic movie. It's a very horribly written movie. And just, if we're going beyond, like, Olivia Wilde and the bad writing and bad direction, it's not even a well-acted movie. And the story has been there, done that. It's very much like Twilight Zone, Stepford Wives, all that stuff. Go watch those movies. They're much better movies than this crap. Watch any episode of Twilight Zone. It's a lot more unique than anything Olivia Wilde will ever do. But this movie sucked. Absolutely sucked. There were some nice shots here and there, but for the most part, it was a horrible film. I'd give it like a 2 out of 10. I would never recommend this to anyone. Maybe if you want to, like, torture them to death. But this movie is just fucking dreadful. And I wanted early access because, I can get an early review out, but I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know if it was worth it, but yeah. Fuck this movie. Take care, guys.